First thing is, so how would you explain briefly to another college what we're doing?
In regards to cohorts,
Yeah.
we are owning our student success. And what that means is there's an accountability piece, meaning gone are the days of just saying, okay, come see a counselor.
I think before we were always just waiting for students to come to us. We were just catching low-lying fruit, and now it's more about being proactive. We're going to the students, we're communicating with instructional faculty, counselors, and specialists are now forming teams. So it's definitely a lot more proactive, more intrusive for sure.
I think what's really important is to connect individually, for example, with art faculty and show them the students in their program and how they can be successful in the areas that the students need to improve in and what their risk factors are and how we can collectively collaborate to holistically help the student move forward.
And so administration saying, we're going to do it. You know, that we don't have a whole lot of choices. We're going to do it, but we want you to be creative in how you're going to go about creating your discipline cohorts, how you're going to manage those relationships, how you're going to create, you know, meetings with the instructional staff and your departments, and how you're going to become more proactive in that. So I think allowing that creativity was a huge factor in getting people to kind of turn that corner of this isn't really discomfort. It's kind of exciting that we get to create our own vision.
I think that's really great, collaborating with faculty in the divisions and having those large-scale events for students to let them know, like, hey, this is your major. This is what you can do with your major. Here are some careers that you may find that meet your goals. The goal of the event was to obviously educate the students, but also to let them know that we are reaching out to them to ensure that they have their comprehensive educational plan in a workshop model. So
I think connecting with students, being able to bring them in workshops. I like to deliver ed plan workshops, or, you know, for us, it's a lot of career development type of things. So definitely having more of a deeper connection with students, but also with our faculty and with our fellow counselors and our specialists, having that relationship with the specialists, I think has just helped propel our student success.
I think for me, it's been developing a closer relationship with the counselors, definitely being able to, I think there's been a lot of growth as far as the trust in that relationship, and then also developing a relationship with my division that I've been partnered with, and not just the division in terms of, you know, maybe the dean, but the faculty.
I think the biggest change that I've noticed is in the way that counselors are approaching their work. Like Dre was saying, the fact that they are now able to be creative, which it's not that they weren't able to before, but that wasn't what they were used to or were asked to do. Now it's exciting to see a counselor say, oh, I want to do my own webpage. I want to create a survey. I want, you know, my own personalized email that goes out to every individual student with their first name on every email.
It challenged people in a different way, where nobody wanted to be left behind. Nobody wanted to be that person that wasn't getting on board or didn't have something creative to offer. And so there's that little competitive spirit that comes out too, I think, with that. Or you start to say, wow, I never really thought about doing that. And so you could see people starting to get more excited about the work, because then they started to see that there was a whole nother element to it, a new level. And that was exciting.
And I think those meetings where the success teams meet and they share ideas, that has been, I think, the most important part of making this change happen is that idea sharing. Because yes, people don't want to be left behind, and I think it also makes it a little less scary when another team already created a flyer and they were able to do it and it was easy and it wasn't as tough as I thought. So I think for us, those success team meetings have been the most helpful in moving this work forward.
And we go after them. We don't just wait for them anymore. And I think that's what I'm excited about, because we don't have to wait for them to come to us, but we can go to them. And hopefully that can make can be a catalyst for change. Oh, one of the major filters for the tool is you can sort by ethnicity. And so, for example, I already know in my SME group that as of 12/12/2017 is the last time I had ran the numbers. I had 91 students that are African American and Hispanic males, and that was our DI group, or disproportionately impacted groups. And so what we can do is reach out to them instead of them just saying, okay, let's wait for them to come in. We can go to them. And so we can address equity in that shape or form. I know no one is okay with the numbers. I think the dashboards in which that were created of sharing or shining light on the institutional data that wasn't going in the direction that anybody in their right mind could agree and say, that's okay. Let's look at these numbers of success and those are solid numbers. I don't think there's anybody here at this campus that says, you know what, let's keep it the way it is. There's a huge group of like-minded individuals here that are saying we have an issue and we need to take responsibility for it. And I believe that that's a mantra that I hear. The question is, how are we going to do that? It's a big mountain, but we're willing to climb that mountain because you have a lot of highly intelligent individuals here and very compassionate people. And now we're being united and in a common goal with data.
MJC invested not just financially, but in terms of personnel, program specialists whose job it is to conduct high school outreach and to interact with our students and help students with whatever core services they may need, even issues with financial aid, general enrollment services. And that group has been a nice association for us in the counseling department. So I wanted to make that point. But we have also changed as a department, as a counseling department, and I think we've changed for the better. We've become, I think, more efficient. We've opened ourselves up a little bit. We removed ourselves from the mindset that students come to us on a walk-in or on an appointment. We're now reaching out. And when it comes to information sharing, I think we are becoming more open as a department to share ideas and to collaborate and to interact with one another for the betterment of student success.
The thing is that there's limited amount of resources for everything we do. And there's that fine line to, of course, everybody in our world wants it to be perfect. And I think that's what we're striving to figure out with the cohorts is how can we still keep quality and do quantity? And there's this give and take. And we try to do the best that we can.